apologies for that scheduling issues because of the Champions League and stuff. And I am having to film this before the Spurs Fulham game is done, but you guys would have seen the result by then. So if you guys have any thoughts on that game, then put it in the comments below. But besides that game, we're going to look at all the other games here, and I'll give my thoughts and opinions on them all. So let's begin. Right, first up we have the Merseyside derby, which ended Liverpool 2, Everton 0. 2 goals from Mohamed Salah. And, well, this is a thing really, really weird. I found, just a sort of side note, general point about this game, I found it really weird that it was an early kickoff, a Merseyside derby. I really hate when you put like big games on at the early kickoff. It kind of ruins the atmospheres and stuff like that, and we saw it in this game. It was really, really flat. There was like no hype as well, really, for the game. So yeah, but that was just a side note. It was probably one of the most flat Merseyside derbies I've seen in a long, long time. But in terms of the actual football, if we start from the Liverpool perspective, I thought it was a decent performance. They got the job done in the end. It wasn't like scintillating. Everton were very stubborn. Liverpool, as you can see, 77% possession here, 26 shots as well. They had like a few chances, but it wasn't actually like they had tons of clear-cut opportunities besides the goals from Salah, who continues his sensational form right now. Everything he's touching is turning to a goal. Luis Diaz on the left wing, I thought was fantastic, and he absolutely tore up Ashley Young for 37 minutes, who was sent off, rightfully so. Rightfully so. Both of the instances where yellows, no complaints, can really be had there. But I know we're back to the referees again. Yep. But Everton can be complaining about other instances because Ibrahim Konate should have been sent off. Ibrahim Konate should have been sent off for a second yellow. How he survived the pitch is beyond me. The inconsistency is insane because Ashley Young got 2 yellows for, as I said, rightfully so, they were yellows. Konate got a yellow for stopping a counter-attack, rightfully so. And then he put in another foul, literally the exact same, stopping a counter-attack, and didn't get a yellow. Like, what's going on there? I don't understand. It was the exact same as Tarkowski, who got a yellow for his, and it was so stupid. And I believe, yeah, that was before Salah scored. So if Konate goes off, which he should have, Liverpool go down to 10, and it's 10v10, still 0-0 at that point. You know, Everton, you would back them to probably hold on there and get a point. And what made it worse was Konate literally, as soon as that happened, got subbed off. I mean, good decision by Klopp, but that is just absolutely abysmal decision there, and cost Everton. So, you know, Liverpool fans complain about the Spurs offside. Yeah, that was a shocking decision, but as you can see, decisions come in your favour and against you, and Liverpool had one in their favour this time. One against Everton, who were very unfortunate because I thought they played pretty well, at least defensively. I mean, they posed zero threat. One shot on target to Liverpool's goal, but defensively they were solid. Liverpool didn't have too many chances, but in the end, Salah's individual quality shone. Next, we have Bournemouth 1, Wolves 2. Goals from Dominic Solanke, Mateus Cunha, Sasso Kalajic, and another red card. There was quite a few reds actually this weekend. One for Lewis Cook. Now, if we talk about that red card instance, a bit of a weird one. So the first one, fine. Sorry, not it was a straight red, wasn't it? Yeah, for the headbutt on Huang. Now, this one is a bit more clear cut in terms of it's not a red card, but it is a red card if you get what I mean, because he has moved his head towards the player's face, which you can't do. Like, you can't be doing that in a football match. You can't be moving your head in towards another player's face. But he literally just grazed his face, and Wang made an absolute mess of it. I think if Wang doesn't dive around and roll around on the floor, Lewis Cook stays on. But look, he should know better. You can't be moving your head towards a player's face like that. And that was really, really silly from Lewis Cook there. As for the game in general, we start with Wolves. This was actually Gary O'Neill. He was back at Bournemouth. The team who sacked him last year. And he got the job done. But there's Cunha, what a strike for his goal. That was absolutely fantastic. Wolves played really well, in my opinion. Look at that, 21 shots, 7 shots on target. And they played some really nice, attractive football as well at points. I was really impressed with him. Pedro Neto, once again, absolutely superb. Fantastic for the Cunha goal, and in general, incredible. This front three, yet again, Neto, Huang and Cunha, linking up nice. Cunha, this time he was the one getting the goals. The other games has been Huang and Neto, but this time Cunha came up for goals. And Sasa coming off the bench with a clinical finish at the end. It's a huge win for Wolves away from home against, I guess you could say, a relegation rival. Although the way Wolves have been playing, they're not going to be near relegation at this point. They're looking solid, and credit to Gary O'Neill. As for Bournemouth though, oh gosh, I just feel sorry for them. I really do. I really, really do feel sorry for them, because that's yet another loss, still without a win. But it's just so unfortunate. Dominic Solanke, his goal was nice. That's a plus to have him back in the side from injury. But Alex Scott as well made his debut. However, it's just naivety has cost him yet again here. One for the red card, as I said, by Lewis Cook. What are you doing in that position? And then the other naivety is the 88th minute. The goalie Neto gets the ball. Philip Billing clearly doesn't want it. He's got his back towards goal. It's the 88th minute. You're with 10 men. Just hold on for the point. Just kick it long. Back, keep them more up on the pitch. Just whack up to him. I'm sure he'll get the ball. But no, he passes the ball into Philip Billing, who turns and then loses it because he's getting pressed high, and then they score. Just absolute stupidity, naivety. Same thing happened against Everton for them, and it's cost them yet again. Really, really unfortunate for Bournemouth, who I've been saying it all season, but they've warranted a win. They should be on way more points than they have. But yeah, you can't keep doing this, and how long is their patience on Iraola? I guess we'll find out. Alright, next up we have Brentford 3 at Burnley 0. Goals from Johan Wiese, Brian Mbuemo and Saman Kudos. That was an absolute banger, his goal, as was Brian Mbuemo's goals. Both of them were fantastic in that game. And his performance in general was almost back to last season for Brentford. Brentford have struggled a little bit this season, but look at that, 23 shots, 10 on target. It was vintage Brentford, if you like. They were well and truly back to their best in this game. All over Burnley, by far the better side. I actually thought Neil Mopey, I never thought I'd say this, but Neil Mopey was actually really, really good, and unlucky not to get a goal in this game. The front three were fantastic, and Mbuemo was incredible, as he has been this season, and yeah, just a really nice performance there by Brentford, and it was definitely needed to get a result like this and a performance like this. Oh yeah, there was another red card in this game as well. Connor Roberts, absolute stupidness for the first yellow card. Where is it? This one, yeah. It doesn't make any sense. Ball goes out for a throw. Brentford are going to do their long throw, and this guy decides to just chuck another ball into play to time waste a little bit when it's 0-0. Sorry, you're 1-0 down. Actually, you're 1-0 down, and you're trying to delay the start of the game like that. I know he wanted to like set everyone up in position for it, but still, what are you doing? And then he gets sent off for a second yellow for a foul on Visa, rightfully so. And for Burnley in general, I said this was fantastic by Brentford, but this is probably Burnley's worst performance of the season and Brentford's best. Burnley did nothing, one shot on target, absolutely dominated. Besides that, Luca Golioso open goal, which I don't know how on earth he missed. They did nothing in this game and played really poor, by far and away their worst performance of the season. And yeah, that is a bit of a worrying performance if you're a Burnley fan. Next up, Man City 2, Brighton 1. Goals from Julian Alvarez, Erling Haaland and Ansu Fati, and yet another red card. Manuel Akanji, another second yellow sending off. Now that red card, I don't know, first yellow card fine, but the second one, yeah, it was harsh. He did pull him back slightly, but it was the slightest ball, and yeah, he just flopped to the ground. It was very harsh, very harsh, and that's another red card for Man City who have been racking up a bit more than usual this year, Man City. As for the game though, Julian Alvarez, another fantastic performance by him. Erling Haaland with a really nice goal. You don't really see him do goals like that where he gets that ball and drives and then thunders it in. So that was nice to see. Ball from Carlos Baleba though to give him the ball. And if we start from the Man City perspective, Rodri was back in the side, and I think this shows you exactly why he is their most important player and best player, because the impact when he was in this side just completely elevated. I actually don't think Man City win this game if Rodri's not playing. He made it so much easier. I don't know why they're not loading here, but Brighton were pressing very high, and Rodri was so effective in bypassing that press because he's so press resistant. So having Rodri back in the team was absolutely crucial for Man City. But I thought the man of match was Jeremy Doku, who was fantastic. I mean, Brighton helped him out a lot. They gave him quite a lot of space, but he was incredible on that left wing for Man City. And another fantastic performance. And you know, Jack Grealish is really gonna have to work. He's got a fight in his hands to get that spot back of Doku, because Doku is playing fantastic, and surprised me how well he has settled in so quickly to Man City. He was fantastic, but as I said, he kind of got held by Brighton, who allowed him a lot of space, and also for some reason put James Milner up at right back against him, and he got absolutely cooked and subbed off at half time. That was a poor decision. Joel Veltman did a bit better, but that was a poor decision there by De Zerbi. I did think Brighton were actually not that bad. I thought they were pretty decent. Had a couple chances. I thought the Dingra was nice. Fati got another goal. He started off really well as a sort of impact player in the Premier League games. Pascal Gross had a big chance. Jason still came back into the net and I thought was really good. Mitoma looked really nice. So I thought, you know, Brighton were actually pretty decent, and maybe if they started Veltman, put away a couple of their missed opportunities, they really could have got something from this. So a bit unfortunate for Brighton not to get anything here. Although I do think Man City were the better team in general. Alright, Newcastle 4, Crystal Palace Palace 0. Goals from Jacob Murphy, Anthony Gordon, Sean Longstaff and Callum Wilson, and an absolute thumping by Newcastle. Now, the star of the show for me, rather surprisingly, was Jacob Murphy. Jacob Murphy was brilliant. His goal was incredible, a little dink. 2 assists were incredible as well, fantastic passes. Him and Anthony Gordon on the wings for me in this game were superb. That's a bit of a weird thing, you know, I didn't really think I would say like a year ago, Jacob Murphy and Anthony Gordon on the wings are lethal, but yeah, credit to Eddie Howe for making that happen. And it was a sensational performance there by Newcastle. Yet again, St James's Park, an absolute fortress. Interestingly, Sandro Tonali was on the bench and came on, got a nice ovation. Yeah, that whole situation's a bit weird. Don't know how much longer he's going to be able to play for them, because yeah, he's about to get a nice ban probably. But a fantastic performance by Newcastle yet again, and you know, Newcastle for me, I mean, if people are saying Spurs right now are like in a title race, Newcastle are in there as well. Newcastle have been one of the best teams in the league in terms of performances. In fact, I would actually say, in terms of performances, Newcastle have performed better than Arsenal this season. Level on Man City's level, about the same as Man City, better than Liverpool, I would say, this season, and maybe the same level as Spurs. You can argue Newcastle have been playing like the best team in the league this year. They've had a couple iffy games at the start of the season, but since then they have been superb, and they are absolutely firing right now. As says St James's Park, you don't want to go there. Newcastle are doing superb. But for Palace, I mean, this was uncharacteristic from them. I've talked about how good their defence has been, but conceding 4 goals, they were all over the place. This game, really, really poor. Really, really doofless as well. As you can see, they had 17 shots, but just 3 of them went on target. Really, really doofless. And just a bit of a boring side, to be honest. It's not necessarily nice watching them right now, especially when they don't have players like Elise and Eze. So yeah, really, really poor day for Palace, but fantastic for Newcastle. Right, Nottingham Forest 2, Luton 2, Chris Wood with a double, Okabeni with a goal, and Elijah Adebayo with a last gasp equaliser in a very, very entertaining game. Here, now credit to Chris Wood. Chris Wood comes in for Taiwo Awani, who was injured, and grabs a brace. He was fantastic in this game. But Forest, I mean, to be honest, it was pretty disgraceful to not win this game when you consider they were 2-0 up until the 83rd minute against Luton at home. You should be winning that. There's not really an excuse for not winning it. They just completely switched off for the goals. For the first goal, the defending was awful. I don't know what Aurier was doing. The second goal, again, shocking. Joe Worrell gets absolutely bullied. Ola Aina's just standing there watching his centre-back get bullied and twisted up and not doing anything about it. It was really, really poor and a bad collapse by Forest, who I thought were the better team. But Forest, for me, they're kind of giving me like West Ham vibes from last year, especially where, because their style of play, they've been so used to sort of counter-attacking sides, and I feel like they're better when teams try to come at them right now, whereas Forest, when the initiative is on them to attack, I feel like sometimes they struggle a little bit in terms of breaking down those teams and then converting those chances. So that will take some time, and these are the games that Forest need to be winning with these teams around to stay clear of a relegation battle. But as for Luton, I mean, fantastic, absolutely superb, great character. What a fight back by them. Elijah, I mean, I said the defending was bad, but Elijah Adebayo, what a fantastic work for that goal. Against Luton, in the game before the international break, he had an absolute mare, missed an open goal basically, but in this game comes up as the hero. That is what you want to see. And Luton, you know, say what you want about them. They're getting points on the board, and they're by far and away the best promoted side so far. By far and away, showing the most fight, got the most points on the board, looked the most dangerous in terms of goal scoring. Yeah, credit to Luton. Okay. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 2, another ball job, 2-2 draw. Goals from Cole Palmer, Mikola Mudryk, Declan Rice and Leandro Trossard. Right, let me get the Arsenal things out the way first here. Now, Arsenal fans, I don't know, how do you guys feel? I really want to hear Arsenal fans' opinions on this, because I feel like there's probably mixed opinions if I'm an Arsenal fan, and I guess it depends if you're a glass half full or a glass half empty person. Because on the one hand, that was your worst performance of the season. That was really, really poor. I don't think he had a shot on target until like the 70th minute. It was horrible. Created nothing. All of your attackers were abysmal. Jesus, Martinelli, Saka, Odegaard did nothing the whole game. It was poor. Gabriel and Saliba were getting dragged out of position. You look vulnerable on the counter. David Raya was looking shaky. It was a horrible performance. And if you're a glass half empty guy, you're looking at that like, if we're playing like that, you can't win the league playing like that. You cannot do it, especially against this Man City side. If you put in a performance like that ever again, you're not winning the league, and that is a worrying sign, I guess. That performance, and you know, I think we've kind of been saying it all this season. Arsenal haven't necessarily been playing well, or as well as they could so far. And then this game is sort of the culmination of all that, and it was a really, really poor performance. So if you're a glass half empty guy, you're looking at that like, wow, that's horrible. We play like that again, we're not winning this league title. We need to sort ourselves out, and it's not good enough right now. Or if you're a glass half full kind of guy, you look at that and you say, that was our worst performance of the season, and we didn't even lose. We were 2-0 down at Stamford Bridge. Again, absolutely dominated, and we didn't lose the game. That shows signs that we are a fantastic team, that we can get something, we can fight back even when we are not playing well. And those are what most people say are the signs of champions. So, I don't know, depends which way you look at it. Arsenal fans, let me know what side of the fence you sit on. Right, Chelsea, my head is still hot from this game, and to be honest, you can kind of say the same thing, both sides. You'll have some people who will say, look, that was probably our best performance of the season. We locked up one of the best teams in the league, like no team has really done this season. We nullified their attack, limited them to no chances. Everyone in the team played well, created nice opportunities, real great, nice team performance. Players like Mudryk stepped up, and it was fantastic. Or you look at the angle from, we were 2-0 up, cruising. In the 77th minute, 2-0 up. we didn't have a shot on target, and we drew the game, and we absolutely bottled it, and that was an abysmal collapse from us. We should have been winning that game. Now I'm kind of in the middle, but more leaning to the latter, just because I'm so angry. Now, it was just stupidity, really, from Robert Sanchez, who that's the main reason I'm angry. Because if you've watched all the reviews so far, I don't like Robert Sanchez as goalie. I really don't. He doesn't give me any confidence being in goal. He's too erratic for me, and in this game he was completely erratic. You know, he probably should have given away a penalty. Absolute Superman punch, Gabriel Jesus, Onana style. Gives Declan Rice the goal, who still had a lot to do from that position. Just abysmal performance by him. And then the subs come on, took off all of our attackers. So as soon as that equaliser went in, and as soon as those subs came in, we were never going to score a goal, were we? And then for the last goal, Gusto sleeping at the back post, Cucurella as well, not stopping the cross. It's just so frustrating. And the most frustrating reason is because we played so well. We played so well. Gallagher played fantastic in this more higher up position. Cole Palmer was incredible. We played this whole sort of new sort of role without Jackson in the team, and it was fantastic. Gusto, Cucurella locked up Saka Martinelli, Thiago Silva rolled back the years, and then we went and did that. Went and chucked it away. Absolutely fuming. Absolutely fuming. Next up, Sheffield United 1, Man United 2. Penalty from Oliver McBurney, Scott McTominay, and a banger from Diego Dalot, an absolute banger. Gives United the win just about in this game. Now Sheffield United, I mean, yeah, these guys are horrid. These guys are horrid. Creative wise, they were poor. They created not too many chances. They had a couple decent efforts, which Onana for once dealt with. A bit more of an encouraging performance by Onana here, but yeah, they were poor. And the main culprit really was Wes Foderingham. He was shocking, absolutely shocking. For that Diego Dalot, I said it was a banger, but he should be saving it. He really should be saving that. Got a hand to it, and yeah, really poor from him. And it's another loss for Sheffield. I really don't know how long Paul Heckingbottom will last in this job. I don't think it's all his fault entirely, but yeah, you gotta say that I think any manager right now would at least get some sort of bounce here and get some more results out of his team, because right now it's really poor. As for United though, got the job done in the end, as we have been doing in the last 3 games. I think that's 3 wins in a row somehow, some way. Now, it was a better performance in terms of creativity. I thought they created quite a few chances in this game compared to the other games where they didn't really create too much. In this game they definitely created a lot more. However, this time they just couldn't put them away. Really poor from players like Rashford, Højlund, Anthony Van Free. Absolutely stunk that game. Garnacho as well came off a bench, missed an easy 1-on-1. So that's a real problem there for Man United in terms of clinicalness. That is the main issue with this team right now, and goals in general. They are really struggling with that, and you know, they can't keep relying on players like Dalot and McTominay bailing them out. They need to get their forwards firing, but they're getting the wins. Somehow, some way they're getting the wins, and that's all that matters right now for United. Right, finally, Aston Villa 4, West Ham 1. 2 goals from Douglas Luiz, 1 from Watkins, 1 from Bailey, and 1 from Bowen. Now, Leon Bailey's goal was absolutely fantastic, as was Ollie Watkins, who continues his sensational form. most on-fire strikers in the league right now, and it's another win at Villa Park for Villa. That is, I believe, now 12 in a row at home. They've won St James's Park or Villa Park. Which one is a bigger fortress? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. It's definitely a tough one. Both places you do not want to go to at all. And I thought really where this game was won and lost was the midfield battle. Villa's midfield just absolutely outclassed West Ham's. Douglas Luiz, incredible performance. He has had a fantastic season so far, and the midfield was just so much better than West Ham's. This graphic is so confusing, so confusing. And West Ham, I mean, this was really poor by them. One of their worst performances of the season so far. Just, as I said, midfield got outclassed. Thomas Suchek was quite poor. I do think as well, they just are quite toothless in attack right now with Antonio playing up front. They just lack a little bit there. I do feel Danny Ings probably needs to be given a chance, and Mohamed Kudus, I believe, probably now needs to be given a starting spot, even though he came on, didn't really do too much. Instead of Suchek, who's playing in that more advanced role in this game, you know, rather play Kudus there, even though Suchek has started the season off well. But it was just a really bad performance by West Ham, who, as said, are really toothless. Besides Jared Bowen and besides like corners or stuff like that, there's no consistent goal scorer. They only have Jared Bowen as their consistent goal scorer, which is a bit of a problem if you're a West Ham fan. Whereas you look at this Villa team, you got Watkins, you got Diaby there, you got Bailey can come off the bench and get goals. So yeah, not good for West Ham, but an absolutely fantastic victory for Villa. Alright, there we go. That is my Premier League review. Hope you guys have enjoyed this one, and if you have enjoyed,